Hello and welcome to another segment of Couples Drive, where married couples share their stories from when they met, courted, got married and beyond. I'm your host, Atuboyan. This week, my guest is Carla and Fabian from Los Angeles, California. I was at an event recently and I got to hitch a ride with them, and this is part one of my ride with them. Take a look. Hello.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Good. Fabian went around.
Sure.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Good. You guys coming from what, lunch or breakfast?
We just had a late breakfast, brunch.
Oh, nice. All right, guys. This is Fabian and his beautiful wife, Carla. And they've been married for 3 years now.
Right.
3 years.
3 years. Okay. So thank you guys for taking time to ride with me. And as you may know already, this is Couples Drive, and we get to know married couple, share their experience with us, and learn from them. You know, what we can learn from them, and also pass that knowledge to people who are looking forward to get married. So with that being said, you guys have been married for 2 years. You said 2 is going 3.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years.
And we had our big traditional wedding
Right.
last July,
Okay.
2017.
Yeah. So we got married 3 years ago at the courthouse.
Oh, so you guys went to the courthouse.
We went to the
got
courthouse. We got
Okay.
married. Just me and her.
Okay. No family?
No
No family. Just
Why?
me and her, and then we went to dinner.
No, we felt like we weren't ready for the big wedding.
Oh,
And
okay.
that was something really private for the
Right.
both of us.
Okay.
And we just wanted to do it really privately. And then we wanted a plan for our
The
big
one.
wedding.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. So were your family surprised when they found out you guys were married?
No, we told them.
Oh, you told them.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
told them, and they were pretty sad that that they weren't invited.
Yeah. It was only me and her, and then we went to dinner right after that, and that was it. Like nobody
okay.
was invited. Because we wanted to invite everybody together to the actual wedding where we
Right.
had the ceremony and the celebration
Uh-huh.
and the food and all that with everybody.
Oh, okay. So how
To
long?
be honest with you, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to go anywhere.
Oh,
So
that
I
was your.
legally put my name. to
I
his.
see. So
That's really what
he didn't know that,
happened.
did he?
She's just getting me off the market real quick.
Kind of tricky.
Just putting the label on him.
Kind of.
That is nice. How did you meet?
Well, there's a story behind it. Nobody really knows the true story. 'Cause
What?
We usually
Today,
tell
I
the
think
story
we're
about
we're going to find out the truth today.
the fake story was that we met at a bakery. When we first met.
So
But
what's the
originally,
true story?
we met at the gym. So we met at the gym. I was a personal trainer at the gym. I was training, and she happened to be one of my clients. The first
Okay.
time I saw her, I was actually training one of my clients, and she walked up to the front desk, asked, because she already had, at that gym, you buy personal training, and then you just got to sign up with a trainer. So she already had bought personal trainer somewhere else. So she came to the gym just to get a trainer there. So I saw her walk in, and I was like, wow. Like,
I'm going to be the
my
personal
eyes,
trainer.
yeah, I was like, because there was only 2 trainers, me and another guy. So I was like, okay, I hope she goes under my list. Hopefully they put her under my list. And it actually turned out that the guy right away, he was like, my boss, he was like, okay, Fabian, you got her for on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. I was like, okay, cool. But deep inside, I was like, oh, yes.
but we couldn't, he couldn't obviously date me because that's like a conflict of interest at work.
Violation of
So
the- okay.
he asked me out I think 3 days after that or something, like a week later.
3 days after signing up?
About a week after that, yeah.
We hung out. Yeah, we hung out, and then ever since that day, we
He
kept
didn't let me go.
we kept hanging
Yeah.
we kept hanging
Hanging
out.
out?
Yeah, for lunch after work.
Fabian didn't waste no time.
No, I
No,
was.
he did not.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, okay,
This is it for me.
this is it.
Wow. And
And
how
then-
long ago was this?
That was in July
at
of
least 4 years ago.
2013.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so
That was 2013. This year we're gonna be 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And everybody that was see me with her told me like, you gotta marry her, like you gotta get her, you gotta lock her.
Why?
in.
What? I mean, what actually attracted
You know,
you to him? I mean, to her.
her,
I mean, this
her
is gonna...
big legs, her quads.
Oh,
She
really?
has that was the first thing that caught my eye. I was like, oh man. So she was already pretty fit. So I really liked that she was like into fitness.
Okay.
So that caught my attention because I have such a passion for it,
Mhm.
and that she was into fitness.
There was a
And
physical
then-
attraction,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, but then
And
well,
her
when I noticed him, when I saw him, I think his demeanor
Mhm.
was what struck me the most, because you know, you're at a gym and there's all these people around you, but when
Yeah.
I saw him walk in a distance, and I could just feel like his energy was just like he was the only one in the room, and he just kind of, the way he walked, I don't know, it's just his confidence, or I just saw him out of the corner of my eye, and I don't know,
But
right
so
away, like,
did
felt
you also
something.
feel the same level of attraction instantly,
Yeah.
or it took a while?
No,
It was
instantly.
instant.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was instantly. And then once he actually started training me one-on-one, then I was like, oh gosh, I was hoping that we wouldn't fall, like I wouldn't fall for him, but it
she was
happened.
texting me her meals, like, hey, this is what I'm eating.
was-
She's trying to start conversation with me.
Oh, so that was on purpose.
That was on purpose,
Yeah,
trying to
but
show
at
me
that
her
point I was
meal.
already thinking about him.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Were you saying sort of like a prayer in your head, like, God, let me have him as my trainer? God, as soon as you walked in and saw him.
No, actually, when I saw him, I was like, please don't let him be the trainer.
Why?
Because I knew that he was so handsome and he was so cute. I was like, oh, I probably am gonna like him. Like, so please don't let me get him. But sure enough, I got him. But
Wow.
when I met him, like when I actually had started talking to him, that was when I was like, oh, please God, like, you know, I hope this is the one. So
That is interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, and that I always kept it very professional with all of our members.
That
So-
is difficult, isn't it?
It is very difficult, but I always make sure I always kept it very to the point. You're in and you're out. That's it. But I was working out one day. I was doing my workout, and she happened to finish her workout, and then she kept working out after we were done training her. And then she approached me. She goes, "Can you help me? Can you show me how to do this workout over here?" I was like, "Okay, sure." So then that's when I went over her, and I started showing her more workouts. After I was already done training her, like she wanted me to keep training her, showing her how to do some more workouts.
Of the clock.
Off the clock, exactly.
That's when I was like, okay, now I'm gonna flirt a little bit with him. And I kept approaching him, and he would show me how to do something, and then he would walk away, and then I would go back, and I would say, how do you do this again? And then I kind of distracted him from
Did
his
anybody
workout.
over there notice what was going on?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we had a
for
little.
sure.
Yeah, there was a little
Yeah.
conflict at work because since again we're not allowed to talk to our clients like
Right.
that, and I always try to make sure I avoid that. But with her, it didn't happen. With her, I went for it, and I started talking to her, and then my boss didn't want me to train her. The only way you could train her is if she takes one of your class, but you cannot train her one-on-one or more. So I was like, okay, well, for me it's fine as long as I'm training her, and the class is okay. And if it's not one-on-one, it was fine, because eventually I was gonna hang out with her afterwards. So I
Okay.
was like, okay, that was okay for me to do it that way. So it still
Wow.
worked out.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward to now, 2 years, 3 years after. So, do you think Fabian is everything that you dreamt about?
He's more than
More than
everything.
that, what actually confirmed it?
So to me, my family is really important. They play a huge part of my life, and just to see the way that he was so like loving towards my family, and that was really important. That was number one. And then number two was the fact that anything that I had my heart set on, he was supportive of me.
Okay.
And he was faithful to me. He was loyal. He didn't play any games with me. Well, he tried, but he didn't get very far. He tried once, and then he failed. That was the end of that.
He tried something.
He tried a little something, but that ended really quickly. And no, but he was very faithful and stood by me, through anything. And he was always there, always there. He never disappeared. It was consistent.
Right.
and I know I'm not an easy person, and he just like, all these good things just started happening to me once
he came into
my life. And,
That's beautiful.
and my dad was really sick for a long time, and you know, it wasn't always easy, and he was always there to just brighten up my day when my dad was having a hard time. You know, that just meant everything to me.
So how long did it take you to introduce him to your family?
Not too long, because he came over the first time for, I think it was Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And they really liked him, because my mom really liked him because he spoke Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And he was Mexican, so that was a big seller to her.
Okay.
And he was very polite and very humble. So,
Fabian, what about you? What was one thing that really confirmed it? Was it because she was, you know, gun-ho at the gym, or
No, you know what?
Or something more than that?
It was the way that she took care of me, the way that she treated me. You know, like she actually took care of me to the point where like I was the only thing that she had. Like she had to take care of me like at all times. Whether it was making sure I had lunch, making sure I had everything that I needed for work, you know, or if I needed help with something, she was always there to help me, you know. So she was always making sure I was well taken care of. So I was like, wow, she really cares about me, you know. So the girl really likes me. She really loves me. So after I started seeing, and that's the one thing that I love about her, that she really, you know, always looks out for me.
Okay.
Whether it is, you know, food or something I need at work or anything, you know, she's always there to make sure she helps me out with it. So knowing that I felt like, you know what, she's doing that now, like this is what I want for the rest of my life. Like I want someone to be there to take care of me. And if she's taking care of me like that, I could imagine we should take care of my family, like, you know, our son, our baby, you know, once we have one. Yeah. Okay, so I was like, okay, you know, this is what I want.
Okay.
This is what I wanted to be with the rest of my life. And again, she was beautiful and smart. Like that's the best of both worlds, you know. So I was like, okay, that's it. She's taking care of me, and she's got everything that I want. She had a passion for fitness as well, such as I did as well. And that was something that helped, that we would work out together.
Right.
So we'd always work out together, and I thought that brought us together as well, just keeping each other company.
Do you think that helps? Like you guys being in, you know, sort of having the same passion, the same line of interest?
Well, I mean, I guess it's like, for everyone could be different, right? Okay. But I think that there should be like one thing that draws the two of you together, something that the two of you enjoy doing. Okay. And for us, it just happened to be that. Okay. You know, now there's more things, but our interest for fitness was what, like, now we were able to, you know, be our own boss, and it's a dream, you know, like when we tell other people about each other and what we do, and everyone always says like, oh, you guys are a power couple. You know, that's kind of like empowering to us. That makes us feel like, okay, well, we got to keep going, you know, because we're doing something right. Yeah.
But even she had a passion for school, like, you know, being a teacher, being a principal and all that, and that was totally different from fitness, you know. Right. And I still, even though like, you know, it was a little different from what I want, from like what I was doing, I still gave her 100% support on it. You know, she went to Notre Dame for three summers straight for 2 months. So every summer she was there for 2 months. Okay. So, and that's all the way out there in Indiana. And I stood here and I supported her for those 3 years that she was there, making sure that that's what she wanted. She's like, I want to be a principal. I want to be able to run a school. So I was like, okay, well, that's what you want. That's, you know, you have a passion for that. Then, you know, I supported her 100% on that. And eventually, you know, it came out to being like, okay, my passion was the gym, the fitness. So I just started opening the gym, and then she also she went to school for all that to learn how to run a school. So, you know, her knowledge and my knowledge came together, you know, and then we were able to pretty much open the the business together, and it
So
helped.
now she's the principal for the gym.
She's the principal of the gym. Yeah, she only shows up whenever she wants to. I'm there 12, 14 hours. Yeah, she's the boss.
So how was that 3 years, like 2-3 years, like I mean, her going all the way to Indiana, and you having to stay back in LA?
How was it?
Yeah, was it difficult
hard.
for you, like long distance
Yeah,
relationship?
I mean, I was, and it was also during the summer, and during the summer, that's like the time that everyone wants to be out on vacation,
Right.
at the beach, and it was hard. But it was actually, I think, for 1 month that I was gone.
Was it 1 month?
I think it was 1 month, and it felt like 2 months, but it was hard. And that during that time, that was when I realized more and more that he was so faithful to me and supportive and loyal, that made me want to marry him even more.
Okay.
Want to make sure that he wasn't going to go anywhere.
Was it right after that you took him to court to get him legalized?
Pretty much.
You know what? Yeah, it was a little bit right
Pretty
after
much,
that.
yeah. Pretty much.
Right. So now let me ask you. You guys both have Mexican heritage, right?
Right.
But you said your dad is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Did you guys see any cultural differences surfacing when you guys started talking, and even now that you're married? Are there any cultural differences between how you guys were brought up? You were brought up literally in United States, and he was brought up in Mexico. What did you guys see any differences?
Yes.
A little
at the
bit.
beginning.
A little bit, yeah.
Because more like the way that we were brought up. So, for example, one thing that I noticed was, and that actually caused some like conflict in our when we were in our relationship at the beginning, was the way that our families interact. Like, so our family dynamic. So, like, for example, my family would always sit together at the dinner table every night for dinner. Every night.
Okay.
And my dad would always lead us in prayer. And so for Fabian's family, number one, his dad stayed in Mexico. And so here in the United States, his mom remarried when he was here. And his family, when I went over there to his house, they never ate dinner together. And church was also not something that was done like on a regular basis. So like prayer wasn't something that was done on a regular basis. So that culturally was like one of the hardest things that we had to come to terms with. And now that, the more that he spends time with my family and sees like our family dynamic and how everyone's always pretty much together, and how important it is for us to pray together before we eat and go to church. Like this morning we came from church.
Okay.
That's something that has changed now.
Okay.
But that was one thing that was pretty difficult for us to understand, how our families are. Like his family is a little bit more, everyone's in their kind of like doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Whereas my family, it's like, if I don't hear from my brother in 2 days, we're like, what's wrong? Or if my mom doesn't call me, like 5 times a day, something's wrong. Whereas, for Fabian, I have to say, hey, did you go to your mom's house today? Like, did you call her? Is everything okay? Or, I don't know, just the way that, I guess, even like the way that they speak was different. Right? Like,
yeah,
like just the way that you talk to one another, it was just different. It's more direct. Like they're more direct in how they talk or ask for something, whereas in my family it's more I don't know, like
I guess just the
warmer.
way that the way that we were brought up, we're more like, we grew up without a dad, so it was a little more like we're like independent on our own. So everybody was like kind of on their own there. Her family, it was, they were always together. They had their dad and mom there all the time. My mom was always working. She was
always working.
She had, she had 3 of us she had to take care of, so she was always working. So, and we didn't have a dad, so it was a little harder for us to kind of grow up by ourselves. And I feel like that though helped us appreciate so much more though. Like I appreciate so much of the stuff that I have now, going through all that struggle.
Right.
and which is why I feel like also I am where I am right now because of all that, the the struggle that I went through as a younger kid. Not having your parents there all the time, having only one parent, not having everything that you want, stuff like that. And then for her, I feel like her dad had a business, her mom had a good job, like things were a little easier for them, I could say. So that kind of we grew up differently. So when we came together, I was like I was used to other stuff, and she was used to other stuff, So I think that kind of in the beginning made it a little bit difficult. But now that I'm like that I live with her mom and I live with her, I started learning the way that I would wanted it to live as well. Like more caring, more loving, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and him seeing my dad and the relationship that I had with my dad. My dad recently passed away, so I think that also impacted him. And the way that we want, our future to be is like, I made it very clear to him that I want a father for my family, like the father I had, and so he, I think that my dad's passing helped him understand how important that father figure is.
And Fabian, so was that adjustment difficult for you?
First, it was a little bit. Because I wasn't used to, I would come, at my house, I would come home, it's like, hey mom, and we'll go inside, that's it. Them is like, you come home, hello, I'm home, go ahead, give them a kiss, a hug, okay, what are you guys doing? It's totally different,
Right. What is one thing about your wife that you don't like so much? Or if you can write a book about it.
Oh man, if I can write a book about it, I can definitely write a book about it, yeah.
Hey, welcome back. That was part 1 of my ride with Carla and Fabian. I hope you learned something as usual. Please make sure you follow us on Instagram, like our videos, share, and make sure you subscribe as well. I'll see you next time with part 2 of my ride with Carla and Fabian. Until then, let's keep love alive. Bye.